Hey guys, welcome in. I hope everyone is doing well. So this is the video that actually goes to the short that I made titled Spiralized Zucchini. So my husband hates when I cook chicken breast because it always comes out dry. He can't stand chewing on it. He tells me it hurts his jaw. So I was determined to make these $9 chicken breasts. Yes, you heard me. This was $9 for these chicken breasts. Guys, the prices of groceries, something has got to give because it's getting crazy. But anyway, so I was determined. I got on Pinterest, I looked up a recipe, and it was like tender, juicy chicken breast. And so I was like, all right, let's do it, because I actually love chicken breast. I like it because it's high in protein, it's a lean meat, and it just provides me energy throughout the day when I eat it. And also, if I don't finish it, I could use it like to snack on, like a cold meat, or wrap it up in a piece of romaine, or just eat it with some nuts or some cheese, and good to go. But my husband, he doesn't like chicken breast. Well, he doesn't like how I make it. So I'm determined to find a recipe and make it for him that's tender and juicy. So this recipe said to use onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, basil, and salt and pepper, and to dry rub it on the chicken breast after spraying it with olive oil or avocado oil. We use avocado oil because it has a higher smoke point, which means you can cook it on higher heat and it's not going to burn like your olive oil burns at a lower temperature. So put the chicken breast in the pan, and this is my favorite pan. My husband bought me this pan like maybe 2 years ago. It's a Calphalon all stainless steel pan, and it's the bigger size. So I love to use this pan because you can actually put it in the oven for it, like goes up to 500 degrees. I mean, it was an expensive pan, but the recipe said to cook each chicken breast for 5 minutes on each side, and then to temp check it, which I got my thermometer. You guys saw that in the other vlog where I went to Kroger and bought this thermometer. And I love this thing because I use it for all my meats. That's the only way I know that my meat is done. I don't want to chance it and feed me and my husband some raw behind meat. But anyway, the recipe said to add a tablespoon of butter, which I'm sure that adds to like the juiciness of it. So I just threw it in there and let it do its thing, let it melt down. And, I watched the chicken breast and make sure I didn't burn it, because I was so determined to get this chicken breast right, guys, because I love chicken breast. I can eat chicken breast all the time. I don't really care if it's dry. I just know it provides me with a lot of energy. So I love it. So here, the recipe said to make sure your chicken breast reaches to 165 degrees, which, it ensures that you're not going to get any of those pathogens, and make sure your chicken breast is done. This one, it reached 165, and then I took it out. And then this one was a little bigger, so it made sense why it lasted a little longer to get to that temp. But it finally reached the temp, and I set them aside. The recipe said set them aside and let them sit for 5 minutes. So then I was like, okay, that's perfect, because then I can start working on my zucchini. And my husband bought me this KitchenAid attachment for my mixer. I've had this thing for many years. I have a few of them. Like I have this one, the shredder, and then also the meat grinder one. And I use them very often, actually. I love spiralized zucchini, spiralized squash. I love it. And actually, you could buy the spiralized zucchini at the store, but you're going to pay for the labor that, to make it. But here I took some kitchen shears and I cut them, because they're going to be like super long if you don't cut them. And then I just threw them in the chicken pan, like, to get all those like bits of flavor where that butter was left over. And I wasn't worried about like the little bits stuck to the pan, because I knew once the zucchini started to stir fry that it was going to release its own juices, and that those little bits on the bottom would just incorporate into like a sauce. So I wasn't concerned about that. But that's what I did here, was I just sauteed the zucchini. And I didn't saute it too long, because if you saute it too long, they're going to get mushy. So I just did it for like maybe a minute or two, just to get like those little bits on the bottom of the pan incorporated into like a little sauce. And that's all. And then I took them out, because I still want them to have a crunch. I didn't want them to be super soggy. And I'm just showing you guys like the bottom, looks good. So I put the chicken breast back in the pan, just really honestly just to heat it back up. And then I started to serve my husband's plate. And guys, I don't use fancy plates for myself. I make a little fancy plate for my video and then I'm using a paper plate. But I did the whole, like, when you turn the pasta, how they do in the restaurants, like all fancy, because I, you know, for my video, I wanted you guys to see, like, I'm trying, you know. But, and then I just placed the chicken breast. See, that's my plate right there, that paper plate. Because I was like, let me give him a fancy plate for the video. And, you know, I'm going to dirty up more dishes than I need. But the chicken, it came out really good. And I asked him, I was like, babe, is it tender?
All right, babe. I want you to try it.
He's been like, I don't want to be on every video. I'm like, love, you're my taste tester. Right. You got to be on the video.
Gourmet meal.
It's a gourmet meal.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, guys, he's checking because he said that the chicken looked a little pink, which I was kind of worried about that. So I think next time, instead of going to 165, I'm going to make sure it goes to like 170. Because we did end up miking it, like putting it in the microwave for a little bit. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming in, hanging out with me. I love you. Bye.